I want to tell you about the day I stood in a checkout line with a cart full of groceries, and my own husband made me look like a stranger to my own money. It was a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays were our quiet days. No soccer practice, no late meetings, just dinner and the two of us. I had chicken thighs, a bag of rice, some strawberries my daughter loved. Nothing extravagant. Nothing that should have raised a single eyebrow. The card declined. I laughed it off at first. "Try it again," I said to the cashier, a young woman with kind eyes and a name tag that read Priya. She tried again. Declined again. I felt my face go warm. That particular heat of being watched by strangers in a line that was starting to grow behind me. "I'm so sorry," I said. "This is strange. Let me call my husband." That's when Priya leaned in, lowered her voice, and said the sentence that would split my life into a before and an after. "Ma'am," he called ahead. I asked her to repeat it because surely I had misheard. "He called the store this morning," she said gently, like she was breaking something fragile. "He asked us to decline any transaction over $50 on this card." "I'm sorry. I thought you knew." I did not know. Because something in me, some old quiet instinct, told me this was not the whole story. Looking back now, there had been signs. Small ones. The kind you explain away because the alternative is too heavy to hold. 3 weeks earlier, my husband, Daniel, had started taking calls in the garage. Not the backyard, not the office upstairs. The garage with the door shut, standing very still like a man trying not to be heard. "Work stuff," he said when I asked. "Boring stuff." 10 days before the grocery store, I noticed our joint savings app had been removed from his phone. I only saw it because I was showing him a photo and his home screen was different. Rearranged, thinner somehow, like something had been quietly stripped away. "I switched banks apps," he said. "The new one's better." For days before, his mother called and asked out of nowhere, "How is Daniel holding up?" "Holding up from what?" I asked. There was a pause. Too long a pause. "Oh, nothing, sweetheart. You know me, I worry." I did not confront any of this. I want to be honest with you about why. It wasn't fear. It was strategy. I have learned in 31 years of life that a woman who asks questions too early only teaches the liar how to lie better. So I watched. I waited. I gathered. That night after the grocery store, Daniel came home to find me sitting at the kitchen table with his laptop open in front of me. The one he thought was password protected, the one where I had, months ago, memorized him typing in the code without him ever knowing I'd seen it. He stopped in the doorway. "You blocked my card," I said. Calm. Even. At the store. In front of people. He didn't deny it. He said, "I can explain." "Then explain," I said. "Because right now I'm sitting here looking at a folder labeled Millbrook Consulting Confidential, and I don't know who Millbrook is, and I don't know why my husband is hiding a business relationship from me, while blocking my access to our own money." His face did something I had never seen it do before. It broke. He sat down across from me and he told me everything. Here is the twist I did not see coming. The one that rearranged every ugly thing I had assumed onto a different, heavier shelf. Daniel's business partner of 6 years. A man named Rowan who had been in our wedding photos, who had held our daughter as a newborn, had been quietly siphoning money out of their company's accounts for over a year. Not thousands. Hundreds of thousands. And 3 weeks earlier, a forensic accountant hired by their insurance company had discovered that Rowan hadn't just touched company funds. He had used Daniel's identity, forged on old partnership documents, to open 2 lines of credit, lines that were, technically, tied to our joint accounts as collateral. Daniel had gone to the bank's fraud division the moment he found out. He had gone to a lawyer. He had been told in no uncertain terms not to alert anyone, not Rowan, not even me, until the accounts could be legally frozen and separated, because any leak, any change in our spending pattern, might tip Rowan off before the paperwork was filed. "I was terrified," Daniel said, "that if I told you you'd say something. Not because I don't trust you. Because you trust him too. You still send him birthday texts. I couldn't risk it looking staged. So you let me stand in a grocery store," I said quietly, humiliated in front of strangers, rather than tell me the truth. "I know," he said. "I know how that looks. I was trying to protect the money. I forgot for one day that I was supposed to be protecting you too." I won't pretend that conversation fixed everything instantly. Trust doesn't work that way, and I am not interested in telling you a fairy tale. But here is what I know now, months later, with Rowan facing charges and our accounts finally fully our own again. The betrayal I feared, the affair, the secret second life, was never real. What was real was smaller in cruelty but larger in consequence. A husband so afraid of losing what we built that he forgot, for a moment, that partnership means facing the storm together, not standing alone in it while I stood confused in a checkout line. I have forgiven him. Slowly. Deliberately. The way I do everything. But I never again let anyone, not Daniel, not fear, not shame, decide for me what I'm allowed to know about my own life. If there's one thing I'd want you to take from this, it's simple. Composure is not weakness. Staying calm while the ground shifts beneath you is not the same as staying silent forever. Investigate quietly. Gather what you need. And when the truth finally sits down across the table from you, meet it with your spine straight. That's what strength actually looks like.